Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So here in front of me, I have 7 drugstore or more affordable makeup dupes that I think rival the high-end or luxury products that they're duping. Actually, one of them is a skincare product and the rest are makeup. I always like a good dupe video. I've had this list going for quite some time and these products here for a while, so I figured, why not go ahead and do this now? I know you guys like dupes as much as I do. So before we get into it, if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button before the end of this video and become part of the family. All right, so I'm gonna start with a pretty popular luxury product from Charlotte Tilbury. This is one of my personal favorite one and done eyeshadow colors. This is the Eyes to Mesmerize cream eyeshadow in the shade Marie Antoinette. Some of these are options that will give you the same look, but the formula is a little bit different. This is an expensive product, and if you can get the same look for a lot less, let's go ahead and do that, right? This is just a really pretty bronzy shade. It looks good on so many people, and the formula is kind of moussey, kind of creamy. I have 2 drugstore dupe options for the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize and Marie Antoinette, and both of them only have numbers on them. They don't have names. The first is the Revlon Color Stay Cream Eyeshadow in the shade 710. And we also have the CoverGirl True Naked Queen Ship Cream Shadow Stick in the shade 930. Now you can see on the screen there are slight color variations between the 3, but on the lid there's not much of a discernible difference, if any. Where you're really gonna see the difference though is the application and the texture. So obviously with the CoverGirl you're working with a stick, and with the Revlon, even though it's in pot form, it's not that moussey whipped consistency that you get with the Charlotte Tilbury. It's not quite as creamy. If you have textured lids, I would probably stay away from the CoverGirl and go with either the Revlon or the Charlotte Tilbury. But to save a lot of money, you have a couple of options here. If you prefer a stick, you've got the CoverGirl. If you want a pot, a jar, you've got the Revlon. You have 2 great options for a really pretty bronzy neutral that looks great on virtually anybody. Now what I'm showing you here is the opposite. I'm showing you 2 high-end lipsticks and I'm giving you 1 drugstore dupe for these high-end lipsticks. And I am showing one on one half of my lips and the drugstore option on the other half of my lips. So I have here Bite Beauty Meringue lipstick, which was one of my favorite lipsticks from Bite Beauty, and it has been discontinued because they've reformulated their whole line. And I always felt that it was very similar to Tom Ford Pink Dusk. They're not exactly the same, but they are pretty similar once you have them on the lips. So on this half of my lips right now, I have Bite Beauty Meringue. And the dupe for this high-end Bite Beauty lipstick and this luxury lipstick, the Tom Ford lipstick, is this Milani Nude Cream in shade 26, which I've had for a while, and it just dawned on me a couple of months ago that this was actually a really good dupe for either one of these high-end luxury lipsticks. I feel like on swatches they look really different from each other, but on the lips they really don't. They look really comparable and give the same effect. The Milani is what is on the left side of my lips. You can see the Tom Ford Pink Dusk in my March favorites video. That's the lipstick I'm wearing throughout that video. All 3 are super creamy, and that's what I love. I feel like you get a very similar finish. You get a very similar wear. A lot of times when I try to dupe a lipstick, a drugstore lipstick or a more affordable lipstick, there can be something about the formula that is quite different. Maybe the finish just looks different, or there's something off-putting about the scent. So if you have been wanting to try Tom Ford Pink Dusk, or you're missing Bite Beauty Meringue, Milani number 26 Nude Cream is a great option. I also have 2 different shades of blush on, and in person, I don't think you can tell. The lighting is slightly different from one side to the other, so it may or may not look like it, but in person, these 2 blushes look identical. And one of these is one of my holy grail blushes I've talked about numerous times on my channel. This is a high-end luxury blush from Charlotte Tilbury. It is in the shade Ecstasy. I adore this blush. It is one of my favorite neutral face brightening blushes. I love the formula. I just feel like it gives such a glow, such a beautiful look to the face. That is what is on this side of my face. And the drugstore option that is a dupe for this Charlotte Tilbury blush is the Essence Mosaic Blush in All You Need Is Pink. It doesn't look like it would be a dupe. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of does, but it really gives the same effect on the face. That's what I have on this side. I feel like it gives that face brightening, peachy pink neutral effect that's so flattering no matter what time of year, no matter what makeup look you wear. There's just something very, very special about this Charlotte Tilbury shade, and this Essence blush has it too. Now, I do feel like the wear is slightly better from the Charlotte Tilbury, so you may need to top this off a little bit during the day, but for the money, you're getting a comparable look. It's a beautiful blush. It's got such a pretty glow to it, and who knew? Let's stick with blushes for a minute and move to a cream formula. So I have a couple of Glossier cloud paints, and today I'm going to focus on the shade Dusk, which gives a really pretty kind of bronzy effect to the cheek. It's cut with just a hint of pink. And I have two drugstore options, which I think are pretty comparable once they're on the skin. The first is the Flower Blush Balm in the shade Cinnamon, and the second is the Milani Cheek Kiss in the shade Nude Flush. So you can see the swatches are pretty similar. Now, I do feel like both of the drugstore options don't dry down the same as the Glossier does. I find that I do kind of have to blot them a little bit to get rid of just a little bit of tackiness that sticks around with these, or just be a little extra diligent with my setting powder just to get rid of that tacky feeling. But they blend out easily. They give that same color effect to the cheek. You're saving some money if you're not wanting to spend the money on the Glossier. You have two really great quality and just pretty options here. And I especially like this color for summer. I just feel like it gives that kind of beachy vibe. So I was excited to find these dupes. Those of you who are longtime viewers of my channel know about my love for MAC Subculture Lip Pencil. It is an OG favorite of mine. I think it's been in my life for like 20 something years. I love it. I know I've gone through phases where I've complained about how dry it is, yet I still continue to repurchase it because I've never found another neutral lip pencil that looks quite the same. It's just got this nude peachy pink to it. It actually matches really, really well with the lip that I have going on today. It might be a tad bit deeper. So one day it dawned on me that a drugstore lip pencil that I was reaching for a lot kind of reminded me of something else that I loved. So I dug my MAC Subculture out. I swatched them side by side and they looked pretty darn similar. This is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 1000 Kisses Lip Liner in the shade Natural, and I could not believe that I found a drugstore lip pencil that is really, really, really spot on to my MAC Subculture. And I actually feel like the Rimmel is not as dry as MAC Subculture. So if you're like me and you find MAC lip pencils slightly drying, the shade Natural is super, super close. I will have links to all these products down below, by the way. Now, that said, I do still keep my Subculture here. I don't know why. I just find that things dry out at different rates. I don't know. It's just a thing. It's like I just have to keep it in my life. I like to have both, but I mean, you can see this one is worn down. The writing is almost worn all the way off. I like to have both. I have a skincare product left and I have one makeup product left, and I'm going to talk about the skincare product first. I know a lot of you really like GlamGlow Supermud, and many of you have just never tried it because of the price. It comes in various sizes, which is great, but it is a pricey face mask. It's a clarifying mask. It's got various clays in it that are supposed to really clear up your skin in a beautiful way. It's actually ideal for combination oily and normal skin. It's also got an acid blend to it, but it can be a little bit drying too. Now, I did a video a long time ago on dupes for this product, and I can't remember if this was in it or not. And I'm also not sure if this is discontinued because I can't find it in stock anywhere. I've emailed them, and as of filming this video, I've not gotten a response back. So I will have another option I'm going to show for this GlamGlow Supermud. And both of them give the exact same skin clearing, pore clarifying, acne clearing effect on my skin, and they're less drying than the GlamGlow. So this is the Derma E Purifying 2-in-1 Charcoal Mask. This uses activated charcoal antioxidants, and it's got clays and all kinds of things. So this is just a really natural mask. This is skincare. It's not going to be an exact dupe, but it can give the same effect. So that is what this is. The other one that I want to give you is the L'Oreal Pure Clay Mask. Now, I don't have that here because I actually used an entire jar up, and I haven't repurchased yet because I have a drawer full of masks to use up first. But I feel like it is such a great option for the GlamGlow if you don't want to spend the money on the GlamGlow. It functions the same way in terms of using various clays. It clarifies, it cleans the pores out, it helps clear up your breakouts if you have any, and I feel like it's less drying than the GlamGlow. I wanted to include that because I feel like a lot of us are into self-care right now, and you might want an option that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Okay, my last option is one that I just discovered this week when I was looking through my stash, because the dupe was in one of my monthly favorites and I fell in love with it. And when I was looking at the higher end product, I thought it reminded me of something, and then I realized what was happening. So the high end option is the Benefit Cookie Highlighter, which gives such a special effect to the cheek. It really just gives a beautiful glow, and it's smooth. It doesn't emphasize anything bad, even though it just gives such a beautiful shine, glimmer. This is one of my favorite highlighters, and I discovered it, I don't know, sometime last year. So pretty. The dupe, which looks like it has a slightly different undertone, but on the skin, on the cheek, it is undetectable. It is ColourPop Smoke and Whistles. Now, I don't know if ColourPop is shipping right now, but this was available at Ulta, so I'll link it wherever I can down below. Again, they look totally different in the pan, but I have one on one cheek, which I don't know if you can tell in this lighting, and I have one on the other. You cannot see a color difference at all. And the application is different because Cookie goes on with a brush, whereas the ColourPop, you can just swipe it on with a finger. You can buff both in with a brush or your finger if you want to, but ColourPop is going to save you some money, and it gives you just such a beautiful effect that doesn't emphasize anything bad. It just gives you that wonderful, beautiful, dewy shimmer if you want it from a non-liquid, non-cream highlighter. And I was really excited to discover that because those are actually two of my favorite highlighting products. I have a couple of other dupes videos. I will link that playlist for you because I have some good ones in those if you haven't seen them. I hope you enjoyed hearing my drugstore dupes for higher end products. I loved putting this together for you, and I would love to hear your dupe suggestions. So leave those for me in the comments down below if you have any. If you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button, become part of the family. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at my next video. Bye.